Hello. So in today's video, I want to talk about kind of the hidden power of admitting when something is hard or admitting when something is difficult. And I just want to use kind of a couple examples and also kind of point out something I've noticed when one person does admit when something is hard and one person does not, and kind of what that does, I've noticed. So the hidden power of admitting when something is hard is that you kind of have like more tolerance. I notice like people who admit when things are hard, they tend to have much more tolerance to like uncertainty, discomfort, or like things that are really difficult or things that don't make sense, right? Just by simply acknowledging that something is hard. Like I notice like people can like athletes especially, they can push themselves better, which is really interesting. So how I've noticed this is that for example, like I used to do some sports as I was younger, and the teachers that said, oh guys, this is hard, and I know it is hard, okay, these people, they tend to, that's how they're teachers, right? They are able to kind of work through discomfort instead of pushing against discomfort, and they know that discomfort is kind of part of the process to training, part of the process to getting better at anything, is what I've noticed. So that's really cool and stuff. And then for example, people like I grew up with, so like my family and stuff, they've obviously gotten like really good places in life, but if I were to think, for example, like my dad, he's really intelligent, right? And intelligent people do self-sabotage sometimes, but basically what he did was and a lot of times in his life he would quit when it came to failure instead of pushing through. And that's because I noticed, like at least in school, like he'll often, like growing up, he'll often say, oh, like it's not hard, like high school is not hard, or this is not hard, like I don't know, this math topic's not hard, even though it might be a little more complex, maybe more multi-step than some math we've learned in previous years. And he'll still go, no, it's not hard, it's fine, Farah, like it's not hard, like it's just like basic stuff. And then I don't know, you know, it's like him trying to say basically, oh, it is not hard, and if you think it's hard, then you're wrong. And so I think this is where my dad, this kind of explains why my dad, multiple phases of his life, he would quit instead of pushing through, such as like his own business he started, for example, which got really in a really good place. He would do a pizza business, and had people, like couple people hired working for him. And yeah, he would do all those things. And he even pursued like well, did he actually? No, I don't think he did, but basically like he failed in one of his courses and he didn't try again because he's like, this is it. And even my mom is like, oh my god, you should have taken that course, you know, you don't know where you could have ended up like today. So that's, I think, this kind of thinking where he almost doesn't believe things are hard is, in my opinion, and I've kind of see, it's a little bit of a mindset weakness, okay? Like it's a bit of a weakness to think everything, like nothing is hard, you know? It's a bit of a weakness to think nothing can be a little more complex than what I'm used to, or nothing can be more difficult and unpredictable than what I'm usually used to, you know? Like, because by implying it's not hard, even if it is, it does two things. One, it makes you kind of feel upset at yourself, and also slightly want to give up because you're just like, oh, I shouldn't feel that it's hard. So then when things are hard, you want to give up and you can't really like believe that it is a little bit more difficult. And then whereas if you acknowledge it, it does the opposite, right? It kind of provides more of a space and more of like a container, not, I don't know, container, like, yeah, like more space to really hold that uncertainty. And I think over time you build kind of resilience from that. It's from being like, yeah, this is hard, but I can keep going, you know, instead of thinking, oh no, it's easy, but, and then when you find it a little bit hard, you feel like, oh, I shouldn't be feeling this way, you know. So, and when you feel like you shouldn't be feeling this way, you're gonna want to quit because you're like, this is not what's supposed to happen, right? But I think if you kind of accept that it's part of the process, and it things being hard is hard, you know, like it is hard to accept that at first maybe, then I think the chances of you being able to work through it is a lot better compared to someone like my dad, you know, who's just like, it's not hard, you know. So it does that, kind of says, it kind of makes you feel like you shouldn't be feeling any distress, and kind of ignores when things get, when you feel a bit of discomfort when you're doing anything new or anything mildly difficult. So that's that. And then 2, I would say, is it kind of implies that you can't really handle when things are hard, right? If you think like, no, it's not hard, you're kind of implying that I'm saying that because I don't know how to handle when it is hard, you know. And so yeah, that's what I think it is. It's just like, if it is hard, then it's not true, you know, and I can't handle that. But really, we should take more like comfort in things being kind of more difficult. I'm so distracted by the verse there, but yeah, that's a little something I've noticed, and kind of the differences between kind of athletes and kind of other like average people I've seen in my life. Like, it is just how they see difficulties, and one sees them as kind of like the one who isn't as resilient or doesn't push through when things are hard. They kind of see hardships or any even mild difficulty, they see it as like, oh no, this shouldn't be happening, you know. Whereas people who are able to be more resilient and people who are able to work past that, like past the difficult stages, they're kind of like, this part of the process, and yes, this is hard, and that's how they kind of build resilience. So yeah, that's a little cool thing I do, and my take on it is that, like, yeah, like that's very true. Like, it's okay if things are hard, you know. When you're leveling up, when you're doing something new, when you're learning something new, right? Expect a little bit of uncertainty, and that's completely normal and okay. And yes, maybe it can be sometimes hard to deal with it, that is uncertain, but the more you kind of accept as part of the process, and maybe even heal any fears you have around potentially failing or potentially not being the best, right? It's best to kind of work on that. But yeah, that's all I'd say for that. Just view hardships as a neutral thing if you can, you know, like a neutral, normal thing. And yeah, that's that. So let me know what you think, and yeah, bye bye.